Lesson 3, Multiplying Fractions. Goals for this lesson. I understand how to multiply two fractions together. Welcome to another math lesson, and today we're learning how to multiply fractions. Multiplying fractions at first can look really tricky, but I'm here to break it down to easier steps. Our first step is to break this up. I'm going to show you how. What we can do is we can separate the bottom terms and the top terms and multiply them together separately, so we don't have to think about this bar in the middle. So now we have our multiplication separated. It's looking like something we know, right? Can you solve 1 times 1? That's right, the answer will be 1. Can you solve 2 times 3? That's right, our answer is going to be 6. So what we did here was we just got rid of the bar. So the bar is what makes it a fraction, of course. But if we treat this as two separate guys, like little equations, we can do this a lot easier because we don't have to think about the bar and what it means. It just turns into something that we know and we're familiar with. Now that we solved it, we can put them back into fraction form by just drawing a bar in between them. And that will give us our final answer. Our final answer will be 1 over 6, just like I have it over here. So now let's do some examples. So I'm going to give you the example of 1/5 times, let's say, 1/4. Okay, we can break this up by separating top and bottom, right? So we have 1 times 1 equals 1. And then we have 5 times 4 equals 20. And then we put our fraction bar right back in. So then we can see, 1 over 20 is the fraction that I get. So 5 times 4 equals 20, and then 1 times 1 equals 1. So we get our answer of 1/20. Let's try another example. Maybe I'll make it a little bit trickier. Alright, now let's say we have 1/7 times 1/3. Okay, remember, let's separate these two. What's 1 times 1? Good job. And then what's 7 times 3? 21. Good job. Now we draw our bar back in. We get 1 on top and then 21 on bottom for 1/21. Alright, now what if we have a different number in the top? So instead of having 1 times 1, we'll have 1 times 1. Remember, we're just separating the top and the bottom, so it's not going to be any curveballs or any different numbers from what we have right here. That's right, we just multiply 1 times 2. Then what's 1 times 2? It is 2. And then what's 2 times 3? It's 6. Now, what do we get in fractional form since we drew our bar all the way through? What's going to be our answer over here? Remember, top stays on top and bottom stays on bottom. So we have bottom times bottom equals some number on the bottom, and then top times top equals some number on the top. We get 2/6 in fractional form. But 2/6 has two numbers in common. We can multiply 2 times something to get 2, right? And then we can multiply 2 times something to get 6. Okay, so if we want our fraction in the simplest form, we can take out a 2, and then what are we left with? So 2 times what gives us 2? And 2 times what gives us 6? 2 times 1 equals 2, and 2 times 3 equals 6. So what we're left with is 1/3. We really just divided the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. So we can see that 1/2 times 2/3 equals 2/6, which actually equals 1/3. And the 1/3 is called the simplest form. Okay, so now let's try some examples of this. Let's say we have 2/3 times 5/6. So we get, remember, 5 times 2 here, and then we get 3 times 6. So what's 5 times 2? That's right, it's 10. What's 3 times 6? That's right, it's 18. And then we put our fraction bar over here, and what we're left with is 10 over 18. But that's not the simplest form. What's something we can take out of both 10 and 18? That's right, we can say 2 times something equals 10, and 2 times something equals 18. 2 times 5 equals 10, and 2 times 9 equals 18. So what we really have is 5 over 9. The simplest form is 5 over 9. Now what happens if we have improper fractions? So we have an improper fraction right here. How do you think that we solve this? That's right, we use our same strategy of top by top and bottom by bottom. So we have 3 times 4, and then we have 2 times 3. What's 3 times 4? That's right, it's 12. And then what's 2 times 3? That's right, it's 9. And then we put our bar across. So what we get is 12 over 9. Do you think we can simplify this into proper fraction form? What we want to do is we want to take away the whole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 12 over 9 minus 9 over 9. We have the same base, so we can easily subtract, and then we have to have the same number on top if we're subtracting a whole. So our answer is going to end up being 3 over 9, which we can further simplify. So we have 1, because we took out the 1, and then 3 over 9. We can take out a 3 from that. 3 times something equals 3, and then 3 times something equals 9. So 3 times 1 equals 3, and then we have 3 times 3 equals 9, leaving us with 1 and 1/3. Now let's try it in mixed number form. So for mixed numbers, what we have is we really just have the whole under the parts, which just equal the whole. What I'm trying to say is it's whole over whole. So what we have here is 2 over 2 plus 1/2, which gives us 3 over 2 times 2 over 3, which, we end up with 6 over 6. So 6 times something equals 6, and then 6 times something equals 6. 6 times 1 equals 6, and then 6 times 1 equals 6. So you have 1 over 1, which is just fancy for 1. Now let's do some more examples. Okay, so say I had 3 over 2 times 4 over 7. So we multiply top by top. That's supposed to be a 2. Times 7. So what we have is 12, yes, for 14. 12 over 14. So we can take something out of that, right? So we have 2 times something equals 12, and then 2 times something equals 14. So we end up with 2 times 6 equals 12, and then 2 times 7 equals 14. So I'm going to end up with 6/7. Okay, now it's time to review. So we remember that we multiply top numbers by top numbers and bottom numbers by bottom numbers to get our fractional multiplication looking like how we normally are used to and prefer it. So we have 3 times 4, 3 times 4, and then 2 times 3, sorry. And then we end up with 12, 6, and then we can take something out of this. So we end up with 6 times something equals 6, and 6 times something equals 12. And then we just end up with 2. So that's just equal to 2.